unconditional love is, and how like when we'll manifest things because we like will literally repress it out of ourselves.
What is a favorite Calibrave that you've given to a client before?
Oh, I love this question. So,
You know the vibe. All spice, no sugar. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to another episode on the Don't Sugarcoat It podcast. Guys, I'm here in Austin, Texas, recording another episode from the United States. So it's going to be juicy, it's going to be fun. And this time I have someone else in the chair right next to me. And you're probably wondering, Candy, who is this person? You don't have friends in America. Well, I do. And I have incredible humans that I have connected with over here. And I'm so excited to bring this soul onto the podcast because I know that the energy that she's going to bring, for starters, is going to actually, like, you'll feel the vibrations going through the microphone as she speaks. Like, she's amazing. And you'll probably just want to, like, soak and just, like, bathe in her vibration because she is iconic. So I thought this woman needs to be on my podcast. So here she is. I'm so excited to introduce to you this beautiful soul. This woman is the founder of the Calibrave Movement, where she guides people every day through making brave moves so they can calibrate to their highest frequency of partnership, soul expression, adventure, and more. This is done through journal prompts, frequency meditations, and her signature Calibrave process. Calibraves have helped thousands of people around the world attract their dream relationships, and you're going to find out a lot more about her and what even the heck is a Calibrave over this next episode. So I'm so excited to welcome Rebecca Boatman to the Don't Sugarcoat It podcast. Hello, my love.
hi, babe. I'm grateful to be here. Your intro gave me angel bumps.
Angel bumps.
Yeah, chills.
I've never heard someone call it an angel bump before.
Yeah. Well, they say, too, it's the water inside of our body remembering or feeling a truth. And so it gives us the chills.
I like that. I've heard soul bumps before.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But angel bumps, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. So tell me, Calibraves.
Yeah.
How did you come about and how did you create this modality? I'm going to call it a modality. Have you got it as a modality?
Yeah. Modality, practice, tool. Okay, so Calibrave means a brave action step to calibrate to a new frequency. And how we came up with this, going way back, is when I first was given a challenge inside of a leadership program. And the challenge was, I was told this. Okay, Rebecca, you are going to go to a restaurant and you're going to go with your invisible boyfriend. And you're going to send his food back because he doesn't like it.
What the fuck?
You're not going to send his food back once. You're going to send it back twice. And then it gets better. And then he's going to propose to you.
What on earth was this leadership program? Oh my God.
So I was like, okay, I'm driving out of town. I don't want to run into anyone that I knew, you know? I'm like, I don't want to see anyone I know. I'm going to look crazy. And so we drove like 25 minutes out of town to a Denny's on a Sunday, which I don't know if you have Denny's in Australia.
No, we don't.
Okay. It's like an IHOP. Do you have IHOP?
No.
Okay.
Denny's is like the iconic drive-in.
Yeah.
When I came to America for the first time, on my bucket list, on my little American bucket list, was go have breakfast at a drive-in. And I went to Denny's.
Wait, drive-in? Denny's is where you sit down. A dine-in.
A dine-in. Yeah, not a drive-in. Like a diner. Like off the movies. Yeah, because we don't have them in Australia.
Yeah. And to answer your question about what training, ESK training was created in the 70s. And there's all these like different, I'd say like spin-offs of it. So it was like an ESK type training. And yeah, we went to Denny's and I was with someone who's now a best friend. And I told her, I'm like, at least I want content out of this, right? This is like in the beginning of my business. I'm like, can you film me? And she was like, no, I'm so mortified. I'm like, no one's going to even know you're with me. And she wouldn't do it.
Oh my God.
So yeah, she went and sat in the corner and I went in there and girl, like every fear of judgment, everything that, you know, the need to fit in was like screaming in my face. Cause I'm like, I literally am going to look crazy. So I'm just fully in character. I'm fully doing it. And the waitress is completely enrolled. She's like, does he want anything else? I'm sitting there, you guys, having a conversation with the air. With the air. With the air. And
She probably felt so sorry for you.
She
She's
did.
like, this poor girl's probably been heartbroken. She's just like
and I'm like,
hallucinating that her boyfriend's, oh my God.
and I'm like pulling a straw, like this paper off the straw, putting it in, like talking loudly. And this is relevant to business. I'm going to tie it all together. So there's a family sitting next to me, and the parents like turned their body so that the kids couldn't see me because they were like I looked crazy. So I'm sitting there like every part of my body is having to break through the need to fit in and the need to be liked and the need to be accepted. And how often, right, does sometimes those specific things hold us back in business? So this sounds it is irrational, right? This is where the Calibrave comes in and where we play in the quantum. Because if we can get someone to stretch themselves like this much, like putting your hands way out, then everything else becomes like cakewalk. So in that moment, right, I'm like, okay, I'm in the ultimate like Calibrave, like stretching my nervous system. Like people are, trying to hide their kids from me. I'm looking crazy. And then I get up and I'm from the meal right after, of course I paid because I wanted to get the hell out of there. I stand up and I'm like, yes, I'll marry you. I'm like screaming. I'm like full in it. Like the whole restaurant's aware. I'm so loud that as I'm leaving the restaurant, where the hostess stand is, people couldn't see that there wasn't actually a real person. And they're congratulating me. They're like, congratulations, you got engaged. I'm like, thanks. I'm like shaking. The adrenaline's pumping. Now, at the time of this, I had built an ambassador affiliate program at a business called Organifi, and they're at the time there was only like, I don't know, maybe 8 something people that startup. Now there's like well over 100, and I was running their ambassador program, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna scale this. It was only doing $5,000 a month. I was new to learning ambassador marketing. I was just trying, shooting in the dark all the time. I was like, okay, I'm going to scale this to $30,000 a month and then leave and start my own business. And I did that within less than 2 months, which is impressive.
Wow.
And it was after that brave action step, which, mind you, if you think about it, like it still gives me goosebumps. It took me for 40 minutes, but the quantum shift that then created, because I got over myself. I got over the version of myself that needed to be safe and in the known, or I don't want to say be safe because we always want to feel safe, right? But to be liked or to fit in, and that was like impacting me in so many ways that I didn't realize. But the moment I just fully moved through that in real time, all of a sudden I could see things clearly. I could look at things in my life, and it was so crystal clear, Candy. I was like, oh, if I want to scale it like that, all I need to do is boom, 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 boom. Like it's almost like I could see where before I was like foggy, and then like the veil was lifted.
Wow.
And then I did it and left, scaled the company, or scaled that program, which is where also my knowledge for ambassador and affiliate marketing comes from. And then started my own business, which is the Calibrave Movement. But the Calibrave itself didn't become like our core piece until a bit later, when I came, after working with so many women, and I'm like, man, like this is what makes the biggest difference for them. So let me just calibrate the crap out of people all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So how long have you been in business for now? Like since you had founded the Calibrave Movement?
This was in 2017. Yeah, so that's a while. Yeah,
Wow.
And I started off with it was life coaching, and then I went to dating and relationship coaching, and we've really focused on dating and relationship. And now I run a program with are you familiar with somatic therapy?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you know who Peter Levine is?
No.
He created somatic therapy.
Wow.
And so I met this psychologist who studied with Peter Levine in the 90s, like watched thousands of hours of how our face is connected to our heart. So all of them, like thousands of micro expressions we make in our face directly is connected to what's going on in our heart. So I run a program now with him, which is really exciting and fun. That's like so it's evolved over time, but it's always come back to the heart work, which is what the Calibraves play inside of as well.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So with like the journey that you've been on since starting with affiliate and then moving into like founding your own business and moving your own like creating your own company and leading that movement, and now then co-creating with another business or doctor. Yeah, that's incredible. What do you feel like? I feel like it's going to probably just come back to like the Calibrave itself and expanding your energetic capacity to move through the next layer or the next level of who you are as a person. Do you resonate with it's all comes down to identity work, or for you is there other things at play that's been able to allow you to quantum leap in your business and quantum leap in your life?
I think, well, definitely the identity work is really important, like identifying as the thing before you experience it, like this is, who I am. I also think trust, like I feel like your trust in your relationship, for me like my relationship, I would say, with the divine, or with with the great loving intelligence, like I like to say, like
It's beautiful.
like really like being aware of when I'm actually in trust and when I'm not, and knowing that it's oscillates. There's time when I really am, and there's time when I'm not, and really deepening my faith in a great loving intelligence, and in the great loving intelligence, and knowing that people, different words resonate with different people. And I think it's just knowing that the Calibraves are this. It's interesting because it's like identifying and allowing my personality to be the conduit for it to come to life, but also knowing that it's so much bigger than me. Yeah, I'd say both are really important.
Yeah. Do you believe in like you are in co-creation? Like you mentioned, like it's everything is coming through you, but then also everything is so much bigger than you. Do you feel like you're in co-creation and you are the creator of your reality, but then at the same time, it's all kind of like the path is laid before you? Like I would love to know like your belief around that.
Yeah. I mean, when you say like you're the creator of your reality, I believe that through our awareness and through our thoughts and through our consciousness, it's going to reveal, or we're going to see certain things versus not see certain things. Like versus I think a good example of this is a camera. Like a camera can pick up things that sometimes the human mind won't, because we're going to always project our consciousness, which can have limiting beliefs, right? Versus when we work through those and do the identity or do the work, we can see more, we can see different things. As far as like if it's already laid out, I mean, that's a question of like, is there fate or not? I don't know.
It's a big question.
Girl, if anything, I have more questions all the time,
I know. I ponder because I'm in both. I dance in both worlds. I'm like, well, it's up to me, but then also, like I have this thing where with my business and with my life, I believe that I'm here, like I'm fulfilling my own prophecy.
Yeah.
So even in the languaging of that, if I was to fulfill my own prophecy, it therefore means that it's already laid out before me that I'm here to do a particular task and fulfill a particular assignment. So therefore it is laid out before me, but simultaneously it is up to me as the creator of my reality to co-create and make that happen. So I guess both coexist. Both can be true.
Yeah, like we all have a unique encryption.
Ooh. I like
Right?
that. It's like the codes. And it all makes sense. I talk about like codes and unlocking codes and parts of you, and just like it is all an encryption. That's really cool. You've given me something to think about.
Yeah, I think you described what that is. I just put a different word on it, like which we all do have. And so yeah, it's like, and we know when we're inside of that and when we're creating that. That soul aligned experience, feeling, synchronicities, magic, and then also a lot of growth.
So incredible.
Yeah.
With like everything that you've done, has there been a part in your journey where, you have lost touch with that, or have you always felt like you're on path, you're on mission, you know who you are? It sounds like to me like that first experience for you in the Calibrave really created so much certainty in like what you're here to do and who you are at your core. Has there any time been a point where you feel like you haven't felt that, or felt like disconnected, or you feel like you've lost touch with that part of you?
Oh yeah. I mean, even like last summer I went through, it's interesting because I'm, my brain and our movement and a lot of our focus has helped people manifest their husbands, their families, like, and it's so incredible. And then, you know, last summer I went through like a really challenging breakup, like really, really challenging breakup. And I'm someone who's very transparent. Like, I'm like, okay, I can go through it myself and then share about it. So I talked about it a lot on my Instagram and, or, you know, with my audience. And there was moments I was like, what the hell is going on, right? Where I felt like, oh my gosh, but
I feel you, girl. I've been there.
Yeah.
I have been there.
Yeah. And then also like I was like cold plunging in the Colorado mountains and like just I was traveling and I spent so much time in nature, and yeah, there's this essence, this feeling of like being in the unknown, and then also figuring out like, okay, like what else do I get to focus on, or what did I not learn that I need to learn, and all of these things. So it's interesting, I would say too, like having a public brand in your personal life, you know, I've learned a lot about that over the years. And then at the same time, like really focusing out and, you know, seeing the impact that the work has, and knowing that it's okay, like, to go through challenges. That's a part of being human for as long as we're human. And I find so much freedom in being transparent about that. So I love that you asked that question. And yeah, there's times when I think of it like, this is the best way to just that I like to describe it, is we can be doing a push-up. We can be doing a push-up because we want, say, for reasons of like longevity, health, and then we can do it for vanity, for different reasons. And in the middle of the push-up, our intention can change. Like, that's how quick sometimes we can move. And it's about coming back to the practice of that connection to our purpose, that connection to the divine, that connection to our encryption. And obviously staying inside of that as often as possible, and being a conduit is what feels amazing. And there's times when I'm definitely not there, and there's times when I'm there.
Yeah. I love that too. And I think too, like with social media, so I love that you're transparent in just like being like, I'm a human. Yes, I've created a large scale success in my life and in my business. And also like I'm going through these things too. And I think that's such an important thing, especially with like social media, is there's so much like yelling from the top of the mountain activity. And so I love when I can meet someone who's like, oh, but I'm still human. I'm still experiencing these things. And also not afraid to share that online, like actually being transparent. And I think it shows a great deal of character for the human that you are, and naturally then creates a lot of connection.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you feel that when you are that more authentic version of you, that you create deeper levels of connection with not only just like the people around you in your inner circle, but then the wider community? Because you have like quite a large social media presence. You've got 100 and something thousand followers, 140, was it?
Yeah, I think 144, which we've grown like by 12,000 just last week, which is like,
Wow.
yeah, or I'd say 2 weeks. You know, the growth comes and goes, but yeah, completely with what you just said, to the more like authentic or real or transparent, vulnerable we are. I think it does create that deeper connection. And I think too, it's like we all all of us have this side to us. And I think to the degree in which we allow this other part of us that's like this knower and this protector, where we can be kind to that part of ourselves, then it's easier, I think, to let her out and to show her. Because it's like, oh, but I think sometimes we can't have like a mean girl in our head that's like, that's like, how dare you be sensitive? You're being too much. It's like, stop. We all go through that, right? And knowing like, okay, I can, but the more we, I think, learn to like almost mother or protect or love and care for that part of ourselves, I find it's then easier to, and accepting that sensitivity, accepting, the tenderness. I find then it's easier to show her and bring her out, whether it's, in like with, you know, community or online. But I would say online that's like also a journey in itself. I think.
Yeah. It's so interesting, like even just myself navigating through everything that you just mentioned and having that mean girl internally. It's like I'm always like, okay, I'm going to share what's going on in my life on socials, because I'm just like, I'm not here to just pretend that it's one way, because it's many ways.
Yeah.
And I always find that I'm met with so much deeper connection when I show those parts of myself. But then there's also so many underlying threads of, the mean girl, and being like, oh, you're being too this or too that, and you should be this or you should be that. And it's, so for me, even just like hearing that as well as like having the mothering that part of you. So I've always been like, okay, how can I love that part of me, and how can I accept her? But actually having that perspective of how can I show that motherly love to her, I think is really, really powerful.
Yeah. That
Like unconditional love.
Yeah. Oh, and I just got back from Peru, which Candy knows this, but that was like a big part of the messaging that my friend who led the expedition was like reminding us of, because we already know this, but how important unconditional love is, and how like when we'll manifest things because we like will literally repress it out of ourselves, that because we haven't fully learned to love that part of ourselves, to then get it here in another person mirroring it to us, so that we can learn to have unconditional love. And then with that, it's like the test then dissipates. So it's like, every trigger, everything that I'm not liking, when I choose to fully bring like sincere acceptance and unconditional love to this part of me, because this other person is just a fractal or an aspect of me, then it's like there's so much magic that's created from that.
That's so cool. You just gave me such a interesting visual of just like that part of you that you're pushing away or not accepting. You push it out of you and then manifest it via someone else to then mirror back to you what part of you you're not accepting. Like,
Isn't that good?
that got me, girl. You got me good. That's so good. God, I love this shit so much.
Me too.
I love it. Okay, what is a favorite Calibrave that you've given to a client before?
Oh, I love this question. So, since a big part of our focus is helping women manifest their life, a lot of times I'll say, okay, well, this one's pretty simple and more rational. But I remember one girl, Kelly. I said, okay, girl, sometimes we're doing virtual, sometimes we've thrown them in person too, or we've done them at other people's events. But this one was a virtual, and I was like, you are going to. Well, first, let me tell you what she was telling me. She said, Rebecca, there's no good hot men in my town. Like, there's no attractive men. And she lives in San Francisco, or near San Francisco. And she's like, no one believes in the same political things I do, which, like, had she told you her political beliefs and where she lived, like, yeah, like, anyone would tell you in their logical mind, like, complete opposites. I'm like, okay, but limiting belief, right? Like, you just don't know. So she was putting her dating app on, like, 300 miles out. So she'd go drive to meet these men out of her town because she didn't think they were in her town. So I was like, okay, Kelly, you are going to just go wink at 3 guys, and you're going to go dance in the middle of Walgreens, which is like a drugstore. I don't know if you guys, it's like a pharmacy. I don't know if you have that in Australia.
We don't have, it's just a chemist.
Okay, yeah. And she literally looked at me like I told her to go hide a dead body. She was like, you want me to what? And she's like, I don't even know how to wink. I was like, try. And then she did it like, I was like, perfect. You winked. Good job. So I give bumpers for Calibraves because I say you have 2 hours to complete it and come back, and then we debrief on the call, because people's egos get in their way, right? Our comfort zone, our crafty like part of us that will literally find all these ways to stay comfortable. And so she went out and did it, and she came back, and what did she look like? She's like beaming. Like, she's like, I can't believe I did it. Like, she's so proud of herself, right? And this is my favorite part. A week later, she texted me. She's like, Rebecca, I can't leave the house without seeing an attractive guy. She's like, not only that, but I can't leave without getting asked out. And then less than a month later, she's like, I met an amazing guy. He like owns a jiu-jitsu gym, believes in all the same things that she does, right in her hometown, right where she lived. And this is why everyone listening should go Calibrate right after this call, whatever that looks like for you, because she's changed frequencies. She then showed up and was available for it to happen, which is so beautiful to witness. And so that I would say that story is one of my favorites. But one other one that really, really sticks out to me is I led at Fit for Service with Matthew Hussey, which is pretty cool. He's, I don't know, not, some of you may know him, some of you not. He's a big, like, dating and relationship person. And this one is we gamify it. We put people in teams. They get points per thing that they do. They come back. Whoever has the most points wins. And there's many things on there. But one of them was to call, if you've had a parent that's never said, I'm proud of you, to call your parent and ask them to say that. And so when everyone was debriefing, and we had, I don't think, like 150 people. And this one kid stood up and he just shared. He's like, I've never heard my dad ever say he's proud of me. And I called him and asked him, and he told me he was proud of me, and his eyes just like filled up, and the whole space was so present. It was so beautiful. And someone said, if the only reason we came to this event was for that kid in this moment, it was worth it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I've got angel bumps down my neck.
Yeah.
Wow. Such a wide scale transformation can come from such a simple task.
It's like, I always see it as if we're breaking invisible chains off, and from a different energy centers, just we're just breaking them off in the unseen, and it's moving things in the invisible world beyond what the mind can comprehend, because it's working on an intelligence of our beingness, not our mind.
Where did you learn this? Has this been through your own experience?
My encryption.
Your encryption? It's your soul code.
Yeah, baby.
Your soul. So I want to know then, how do you create? Because I often channel. Yeah. And for me, I'm very visual, and I'll connect into higher beings and galactic beings and my angels and my spirit guides. I often refer to spirit guides, and recently also God consciousness as well. So it's opening up my field to receive from my guides, but then also from my future as well, from my own future self, the way I create. And this is everything in how I've created my business and scaled my business. It's all been through being led through the soul and co-creating with the future version of me, as well as all of the support from the divine. And for me, I receive downloads. So it'll just be it'll just come through me, and I'll just channel, and then it'll just come through me. It can come through literally quite the most randomest fucking times, but it'll be this overwhelming of almost I'm downloading the codes from my future of what I need to do. And I'll see it, I'll feel it. Yeah. It's a whole body response. And it's oh, that's just the next thing for me. And that's how I've been able to just time collapse, boom, quantum shift. Oh, I'm doing this. I'm jumping into this timeline now, and I'm fully embodying that identity. And I'll just go and create it.
Yeah.
And I believe that that's one of the biggest things as to why I've been able to scale so quickly in my business. And that's been my superpower.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, do you have something similar?
The process of when I experienced the Calibraves, or when it would come in, or? Yeah,
both. For how do you, one, get the ideas for the Calibraves, and then two, with your business of, you've share with me a few other things about what you're currently working on in your business. It's where do these come through? Are they oh, this is my next step, and they just come through you, or is it something else?
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm in the process of training someone to give Calibrave, so it's been an interesting because it's as you're asking this, I don't think I've ever actually been asked this, so I love that you're asking this, because it's having me really think about it.
Cool.
Because I'm I would say it is a gift, and I don't think it's I think there is a uniqueness in how I would be gifted in giving it and identifying it. But I do believe that other people are capable of giving them. It's about really, because it's interesting. When I led in Peru recently for the expedition, which I was supposed to talk about extraterrestrials, which we could also get into.
Oh, yeah.
And I was Robert, I'm calibrating them. And I will get into ETs, but after 3 days of meeting them, the Calibraves are so powerful. So I was actually able to have them create Calibraves for one another. Now with this, when I'm just, it's a soul thing. It's we already kind of know when we see someone in front of us who you know, and our hearts are open and we're listening to them, I'll ask like, okay, what is, like, you tap into that future version of them that they're unfolding into, and then you're able to ask questions to see, I say you, anyone, to see like, oh, what are those fears that are like getting in their way? Like, what are those hangups? Because it's, I think sometimes easier to see someone on that when you're on the outside. Like, I think I like asked Corey earlier, I'm like, is there something you're seeing that I'm not, like, you know, it's helpful to have that.
Yeah.
And then from there, they're being able to create a Calibrave. But I think it's a lot of selflessness. It's a lot of heart listening, curiosity, and I would say it's a developed superpower. And I'm also in the process of training Maddie to one of our students who's had crazy transformation with Calibraves to then give them as well. But as far as, I love how much you described the like feeling, and then it'll come in. And I think also, you know, as connecting this to extraterrestrials, we've had like a lot of experiences. I learned about them growing up from my family, and we've had experiences where they take shape on the ground and they're like these sentient beings. I have footage I can show you.
Please, I need to know all of this. I need to know.
And what's really cool is they can drop packets of information, and being very receptive, you can be receptive, like it will sift into your consciousness, and then it becomes a part of your message, a part of what you're teaching. Yeah, so I think that's also a way that I would experience how to serve, specifically when 3 years ago when they took form on the ground and we got footage of it, which was so cool. I became obsessed with forgiveness, and forgiveness being one of the highest frequencies that we can work with, and that it's aliveness and intelligence that we can call upon.
So when you say like they take form on the ground, like what are you referring to? Is that something that you physically see? Like, are you just hanging out and then they're like, sup? Or are you like doing work to like bring them into the field, or like how? I'm like, give me the details.
Yeah. So we've done annual trips the last 7 years to the same hotspot, and it was 3 years ago that they took form on the ground. Now, was it 3? Yeah, it was 3 years ago, and they did again last year as well. So, which was cool. So we've seen the same beings on the ground more than once. So they phase in. I'll show you in the footage. They phase into this dimension. So I think they're interdimensional. And you see these lights start to glow and come in on the ground, and ground as in like we rent out a ranch, like a massive field, and you see them in front of these trees. And then as they're phasing in like coming and going like lights, but in color. And then they appear, and there are 3 beings, 1, 2, 3, like in a triangle, and their shape is, imagine like a head and then what would look like a cloak. I'm not saying they're wearing a cloak, but that's the best way to describe it. And to the bare eye, they were more blue in color. The way the camera picked it up was pink in color. But yeah, that's how they would come in. And then we had 2 friends walking up, 2 more friends. There was 8 of us. We had 2 more friends walking up. And as that happened, they phased out into a ship. And a ship can look like, this one in particular, like a ball of light. And then it powered up. So you can communicate to them. You can talk to ships and have them respond to you. You maybe already do this, but have them respond to you and like power up or flash at me, and you know, so there's like that line of communication. And then it like powered down and took off.
Have you been able to connect in with those beings since?
Yeah.
Is that something that you can do without them physically being there?
Yeah. I think it's a language of the heart, and it's sincerity, and it's a knowing, not a belief.
Yeah. Love that. Do you, like, I mentioned to you earlier, like with galactic beings and like starseed races and stuff like that, do you resonate with starseed races, or for you is this just kind of like a collective ET?
Yeah.
Do you have any labels, I guess?
Like for the ones that we saw?
Yeah.
So it's interesting because for some reason I don't and I get this when I was in Peru, people are asking the same question a lot. And for whatever reason, I haven't like been as interested in like, okay, like where or who or what, you know, galactic family. But I got gifted a session from one of our students. She's like, oh, I want to give you this from one of her mentors. It was emotion code. I don't know if you know familiar with emotion code, but I show up to this session. It's just like muscle testing.
Oh, okay.
I show up, and for some reason, I just start talking about extraterrestrials. I just felt like I needed to, you know? I was like, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, wait, she's like, can I tune in? And then I was like, sure. And then she asked me if I knew who they were, and I said no. And then she's like, let me figure it out. So she closes her eyes, and I didn't know she was even, you know, a psychic or like connected like this. So, but it made sense. My soul obviously knew why I brought it up. And then she says, they are so-and-so. Without knowing anything about me, when she said their names, that's the same lineage my dad studied with in the 20s. So it's like, oh, wow, I'm like, which my Nana also studied with. And I'm like, it's interesting because they can, I think, be soul family that are even people that we had already in this lifetime.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Can I ask, like, what the race
Yeah.
was?
Yeah. So it's called the Great White Brotherhood, white meaning light, not color. So if you're familiar with Saint Germain.
Yeah.
So Saint Germain teachings, Saint Germain was studied with Peter Dunov. Peter Dunov had like 12 different masters that he worked with, and Omram Mikhail Ivanhoff was one of them, and that's specifically who my dad studied with. And I went to the Le Bon Fun in the south of France, which is where he studied in 2019, but he studied there in the 70s. Anyways, it's not like a common, like, who's heard of the Great White Brotherhood? Like, it's...
No, I've never heard of.
Right? But you know Saint Germain. Saint Germain's more popular. So it's the same teaching, very similar teachings as Saint Germain. And so when she said the Great White Brotherhood, I was like, shut up, dude. Like,
Yeah, that's
crazy.
pretty insane because, like, I've never heard of it before. And the fact that your family lineage has been connected in with and studying with these, like, ETs.
Yeah.
Can't make this shit up, man.
Yeah.
That's what I always come back with. I'm like, you can't make this shit up.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, and we can all have experiences like that. Like, I'm, you know, special in my own way. But, like, you know, like, we all, like, these interdimensional, like, beings that operate at a high frequency and octave, like, we all can connect with them. We can call them in. We can see them. They're listening to us and our intentions, and they're helping orchestrate things. I love saying that because I think it's important for people to know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Something that I say is, like, the universe is always listening to you, so pay attention. And it's not just what you're speaking, because obviously, like, we can use manifestations and affirmations to speak into existence what we desire, but that only goes to a certain dimension. These beings are of outside, like, inner dimensions that we can't even comprehend. So it's like even our mind, like the things that we play with in our mind, the universe can still listen to that. So that's been a new challenge for me as well, is really being conscious of all of the layers of the universe is always listening, or even like the beings that you connect with, that they are they're orchestrating to, like, for you and with you. So it's, like, so important to just, like, really tune into the multiple layers that play out when we're just playing as humans. It's like everything does matter. Everything coexists with one another. Everything is connected. Something that one of my mentors has really helped me come back to find peace is everything is perfect, whole, and complete. And all of the challenges that you navigate through in business, in life, like in relationships, in family, in experience, it's always perfect, whole, and complete for your highest evolution.
Yeah.
And for me, that just, like, brings a sense of groundedness, especially when you're going through tumultuous experiences.
Yeah.
Especially like you mentioned before, going through, like, a rough separation last year. It's like, how perfect, whole, and complete was that for you? I'm not sure if maybe you're still like working through that, but I always find that it's hindsight's a beautiful thing, right? It's like, oh my God, it was all divinely orchestrated for me in my highest evolution.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel so much peace when you even share that, like as you're sharing it, and it reminds me so much of like tapping into the knower, like what you're describing. It's like the soul, the knower of like the soul is that eternal wholeness, and then we have the body that has all this, we can experience emotion, and the mind that can, there's the mind, the body, and then the soul, this knower. And you're like, when you share that, like, oh, I'm perfect, whole, and complete, it's like, that's your soul, like that's your knower, because that's truth. And it's that's such a beautiful way to say it.
Do you have like a process that you do to bring you back into that harmony?
Well, you know, it's not always
Besides the
graceful.
Calibrave.
Yeah, calibrates are scary. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they're like, we should all go do them before. It would be fun.
I knew you were going to say that. I was like, fuck.
Man, they're so good. Because the bravery doesn't feel good, but the freedom afterwards is always worth it. And it's just the body that gets freaked out, right? It's the body and the mind, but the soul's like, I'm good. I can air guitar. We did one where I did this with one of my friends who's a big, massive YouTuber. And he has like a ton of, I was like, hey, here's a funny one. I was like, hey, we're going to reenact the Titanic, but you got to get a stranger. You got to get a stranger. And so we're in front of Whole Foods, and he goes up to a girl, and he's like, hey, I need to reenact the Titanic. We have a speaker and everything. And she goes, I'm a subscriber. And she's like, fangirl moment. And I'm like, perfect. This is perfect. Couldn't be any better. I was like, we need a cart. We need a boat. So we pull up like a recycling bin. A recycling bin, like a big ass one in front of Whole Foods in Sedona. It was like the boat, and they were reenacting the Titanic, and it was so good. It was so good. But it's not. It can look so many different ways. It's sometimes I just need to cry. I need to shake. I need to scream. I need to, I need to like somatically release something. So I'll move emotion. I'll move like energy that way. Sometimes I just need to like not talk for a day, or like, I'll not for a whole day, but like space to myself. I know that like learning about my like human design, or, that I know that it's really important for me to have a lot of like, I say spirit time instead of alone time. That can be really helpful. But mantra that I also really love is, if not this, then something better for the greater good of all.
Can you put that into like context of an example of when you've used that?
Yeah, like if I'm attached to, like one thing being a certain way, like, I also have a virtual assistant agency, and like if I'm like, okay, like I'm in the building that, I've been learning a lot, it's new, and I'm like, okay, if I need this new person to be my ops person, or this, it's like, and I'm like attached to them, like I'm attached to the physical form, but it's like, oh, it might not work out. It's like, let it go. Because remember, you always want the win-win no matter what, where everyone's in their soul's genius. So if not this, then something better for the greater good of all.
I love that. So it's just like letting go.
Yeah.
It's just like acceptance, like letting go. Okay, if this, you're like forcing this to go in a particular way, if it's not working out, okay, let it go.
Yeah.
Something. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I think dance, I find I feel, when you ask the original question of where do I feel that peace the most, I would say in dance.
Yeah, just like the freedom, liberation of the body, I feel. Yeah, I definitely resonate with that. I grew up as a dancer, so for me, like, I
What kind of dance?
Ballet.
I can see that with the bun.
Yeah. I did all of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, ballet was like a special part for me. And even just like expressive and like contemporary. But I still have my point shoes back home in my in my apartment back home. I still have my point shoes just like hanging up there. Every now and then I'll pull them down and put them on and just like put some music on it and dance, and like it's so liberating. Like I feel like so connected to like that part, like that inner creator within, and also my little girl inside. So it's like that liberation, expression, connection.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like that's such a good anchor point for you. Like, those, like, you know, the image of the ballet shoes.
Yeah. And they're right, just like opposite my bed too, just like hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
And for me, it's also the reminder of like who I was born to be, because I feel like so deeply within my core that I was born to be on stage. And like I think back to everything that's happened in my life, and it just makes sense.
Yeah.
And I just feel so alive and at home on the stage. Like I've been in training since I was a baby.
Yeah.
For this, like I popped out of the womb and I was like, put me on the stage.
Yeah.
And it's just like an anchor point for like the moments and the days where I'm, not feeling myself, or just feeling like the challenges feel like they're bubbling over. I look at those shoes and just think like, I was born for this.
Aww.
And everything is perfect, whole and complete. And it's all perfect.
Yeah.
It always works out for me. Always.
Be a cute tattoo, your ballet shoes.
I know. I was actually thinking of one the other day. Actually, when I was flying back home I just like finished an Australian tour. Just before I flew over to America, I ran an Australian tour, and I was in Melbourne flying back home to the Gold Coast, and we had like hours, and I was just like walking around Melbourne City, and I was just like, I think I'm going to go get a tattoo. And I literally went to like a tattoo parlor. I was like, it would be cool to get like cute little like point shoes, but they didn't have time.
Oh, really? So you're already thinking about it?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. Yeah.
Tattoo tonight.
Yeah. I will. I'm down.
There's probably one around here. We are in downtown Austin.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Why not? Literally.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. So my beautiful soul, thank you so much for being on here. I feel like we could just yap for forever. Yeah. I would love to know, like, for the audience who's like listening, where can they find you?
Yeah, Instagram's great at Rebecca Boatman. I post a lot of Calibraves on there. I post a lot of dating inspiration as well. So you can send me a DM too and let me know like what stuck out to you most. And yeah, it's a great spot.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. So that's Rebecca Boatman on Instagram. And are you on TikTok as well?
No.
No.
I mean, we do. I am. It's the same thing.
Yeah. All right. So same but diff.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, babe.
All right, my beautiful souls. I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. We've dived into so many wormholes, and I'm not sorry about it because, you know, the vibe, allspice and no sugar. Okay, bye.